nukes. As soon as you open up that hive from those plastic coated boxes, these bees are going to be absolutely boiling out of there. So you want to make sure you have your smoker lit. You give them a couple puffs of smoke. Doesn't take a whole lot. Really don't need to smoke this colony, it's so small. We've got our 10 frame box set up already with 5 frames. Now you can set 3 frames on this side, 2 frames on this side. It's completely up to you, whatever you want to do. With the weather this week getting a little bit cold again, liquid feed, they may take a little bit of it today, maybe a little bit tomorrow while it's still, 50 or so degrees. But in the coming days, once it gets down to around 50, 40 degrees, they're going to stop taking the liquid. So what I did was I had some extra frames left over with honey, capped honey in it, and I'm going to set that on either side of the brood nest. And this 5 frames is what we call the brood nest, which is going to set basically in the center of the box.
For those of you who remember bee school, we talked about keeping the order exactly the same. There are a couple of ways you can do that with a black line going on a diagonal, so you can see your movement, and of course keeping track or numbering the frames.
Yeah.
What's that?
Sure, that's what he's just saying.
I mean, you could get really fancy and start writing stuff on there. You could just go like this. And then when you put them in, if one of these lines is up there, that's wrong.
So when we come to the nuke, we have 5 frames, we have 2 wall frames, and 3 center frames. Okay? So a kind of a cardinal sin is to take the very first frames on either side, the wall frames. You don't want to pull those out first. There's a lot of burr comb on the sides, and when you start pulling that wall frame up, you're going to start rolling bees, making bees mad, okay? And that's the last thing you want to do, okay? So just as a general rule, I always like going for the 2nd frame, but, it's up to you. You can go for the 3rd. So what you're going to do is just kind of very gently get a corner on both of them. Try not to roll too many bees. Very gently lift it straight up.
Oh, beautiful.
See there?
Gorgeous.
And this is also a good opportunity for a little show and tell. If some of you guys want to get a little closer, we can, because these bees really aren't so packed on these frames, we can actually get a good view of pollen. And this is capped brood, all these light brown. This is all capped worker brood. These bullet-shaped are the drone cells. There's even some worker larvae and worker brood inside here. See the little ones inside the cells that look like a little, what do you call those, grubs?
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. And then we can take a quick cursory look around for the queen. And
She marked or not?
She's marked.
Okay.
I don't see her on this frame. No. This is a good thing to show you guys. What's that? Is it anybody?
Queen cell. Queen cell?
Well,
or drone cell.
Well, it's a queen cell, but right now it's just a queen cup because there's no larva inside of it, right? But yeah, that's what usually a mature queen cell looks like a peanut.
And you're just going to leave it there and you're not going to get rid of that?
Well, I left it there because I wanted you to see it.
Okay. But if you were by yourself, you would get rid of it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I would.
And if you see little ones like that along the bottom of your frame, those are kind of, they're supersedure cells, or cups rather.
Are you wanting to give to me?
Yeah.
Oh.
That's what they and then what they'll do is proceed to make it longer, to make it look like a peanut.
Okay, so I sat that here and right about the middle of the box, okay? Because that was the 2nd frame. So I'm going to put this frame right next to it. We're just going to continue on. There's 2 sides of a hive tool. There's a straight, more or less of a straightening edge, and then there's a little curved edge. You can get that curved edge in between the frames, and you can do a little bit more prying. See that? How easy that works?
Mm-hmm.
Uh-huh. That's his purpose for a long time. That's what I did.
Oh, man.
But then I know a lot of
the frames you'll have will be just completely covered with bees.
Mm-hmm. We've got lots of pollen on this frame.
So
We've got bees bringing in pollen on the back of her legs. You see the yellow?
Oh, yeah.
Is their color kind of dull because of these are winter bees? I mean, it seems like bees ought to be brighter colored.
No, they come all kinds of colors.
They're all mutts these days.
Yeah, they come dark, they come light. Some queens are dark, some queens are light.
The thing you'll notice is that the pollen, you'll never see the same, the pollen colors, they'll have each one in their own unique cell. They'll be the same color in each cell. So you're not going to see them blend pollen in different cells.
That's interesting. If they
No.
don't like that.
You been looking? Good. All right, so we go nice and gently down. We're just going to continue on.
And notice he just landed them right next to each other.
Yep.
So the shoulders are right up against each other.
Yeah, you want to keep everything nice and tight so they don't build any propolis or burr comb in between
If
the
you
frames.
crush some of the bees while you put the frame down, does that matter?
It does. Yeah, because usually when you start to crush a bee, they usually set off an alarm signal, a pheromone, right? What's the pheromone? Nasonoff.
Oh.
There's the queen.
See? This is our beautiful yellow marked queen. We just marked her the other day.
Did you see?
Is that the queen?
She's got a yellow dot on her thorax. Yeah, right there. You can see it. It's on the side.
How did you mark it?
So you can see there she's right there. Right there's the queen.
Oh, wow.
Okay?
Yeah, and she's how did you mark her?
I like that dog.
Did everybody get see?
Get it?
Yeah,
Is it easy to crush the queen when you pick her up by the wings?
she has a
No, I said, is it hard to not crush the queen when you pick her up by her wings?
It's a skill you need to. First of all, you shouldn't pick up the queen by the wings.
Oh, I thought that was what.
No, when you grab a bee, you should always go down to the comb and get her right around the thorax. Okay, not the head, not the abdomen, but the thorax. That's the middle segment. That's usually very hard. You can get a good grip on that. You can mark her if you need to, or move her, or cage her. Yeah.
Chris, how did you mark her? What did you mark her with?
Just
out of curiosity.
It's an enamel marking pen.
Oh, really?
You can get them at any hobby store, Walmart.
You have a little device like that. You catch them.
From your local bee supply store.
Again, lots of cat brood on this frame.
Chris, I have a question for you. When you get her in there, maybe we could take one of the frames out. Are you going to put her back in this one? Maybe take this one back out and let them feel the weight of bees on the frame to see what.
Sure. Yeah, we can use any one of these.
Okay. That way, you guys, ladies and gentlemen, I don't want to separate guys, but there are women here.
Just not this one.
So when you feel the weight of your frame, remember it's going to have about 3,000 to 6,000 bees on it, plus the weight of the comb and whatever brood's on there on a nuke box. So when you lift that up, it's going to feel like 5 or 7 pounds. So each frame is going to be a little heavy. It's not going to be this little feather-like thing you can put in. So as opposed to, say, this, a foundation board and a frame, it's going to be substantial and it's going to be alive.
Yeah, you're going to have honey in.
Oh, beautiful.
So when we get our nukes, they're going to be like this. The queen's going to be already integrated.
She's going to be, but when we open up one of those hives over there, you're going to see how many more bees you're going to have. So you'll probably have twice as many bees. As
Okay, but we don't have to put her in a special. I thought we had to do the special receptacle.
No.
Okay.
The queen is the only thing you want to do is, like Chris was saying, you want to work on an outer frame very carefully, give them some space, and that is because you don't want to roll any bees or roll the queen, which means smashing her. Okay. If you should do that, there should be enough brood in there that, I mean, if you lose your queen, there might be enough eggs in there they'll make another queen. But that would take a little more intervention. But you'll know right away if your queen is gone.
Well, I'm much more relaxed knowing that the queen's already going to be integrated.
Yeah, all the queens on your nukes will be marked, and they'll be viable, and they'll be having been checked out the morning or that week before you actually get them.
It looks like it's a really thin space in between each frame.
It's called bee space. It's about 3/8 of an inch, and that's what Mr. Langstroth, who came up with this idea of the hives, determined for bees when they're working in nature. Because bees in trees are typically hollow trees, and that's how they layer their comb.
Yeah, but when they pull out the comb farther, it'll make it even more squished.
But they always have this space is exactly the same between all the layers, believe it or not. It's really cool. Yeah, make sure you get a chance to feel that, because when we open the other hives, it may not.
That's not a real heavy frame. There's not a lot of bees on there. Believe me.
And maybe a frame of honey. That might be something to feel heavy.
Yeah, I can imagine. Like the other one seemed a lot heavier than this one. You got it?
Well, yeah. Just because there's more bees on it. Anybody else want to take a look at it?
On a frame with
you
live
want
bees
to?
on it.
All right. Here, I'll turn it around so you can, and I'll even grab it here so you can get the edges. Whatever you do, don't drop it.
Yeah, if you get stung, it's okay. It's part of it.
And so then we're just going to put that frame back in here, and then that's going to be done.
That's it. That's all there is to it.
Okay, I'm gonna
Nothing
stop.
to it.
Great, thank you.